What's going on, family? Excuse the hair. I know it's looking wild. Looking wild. But that's how life is, though, you know? Life is wild at times. I jumped on here today because it's like I was applying for a job, and over the next course of a few videos and stuff like that, I'm definitely going to share my truth and what I've been going through, what I've been experiencing. A lot of it's self inflicted, so it's nothing for anyone to feel, sorry about. But back to this interview. It was even like an in-person interview. It was just like some AI questions, and I had to reply with videos. One of the last question they asked me, it said, "Life can be challenging. Explain to us an adversity that you had to face that caused change." And it asked something like, "What actions did you take, and what was the outcome? What did you do in those moments?" And usually before, when I used to apply for jobs, I could always utilize like a job based situation. But the first thing that popped in my mind was losing my parents. Losing my parents. Now my parents weren't together for a very long time. They married when I was first born, and then they divorced like a year later. So it didn't last long. They were together for a little bit before then. But in my mind, I'm like, dang, at least they tried. You know what I mean? And I'm the youngest on both sides. So me and my brother share the same dad. Me and my sisters share the same mom. The thing that was brought to my attention, which I really didn't take the time to think about, one of my siblings was just like, my brother, he was like, man, like, I know it's rough for you because out of all of us, you're the only one who lost both of their parents. And I'm just like, damn, that is right. Not only did I lose both, I'm the youngest. And you would think most times the youngest is the one that need the parents most, because we sit here and think just because we're older, just because we're grown, because we're parents ourselves, because we done more successful things than our parents and things of that nature, that they don't continue to water us. What we don't realize is we're not 50, 60, 70 years old. They are. And we're not 50, 60, 70 with a 30, 40-year-old child still who has kids, and now they're grandparents. We don't know what that experience is. Some of us are 40, 50 and grandparents. My brother's a grandparent, which is great. But my sister's a grandparent now, which is cool. But the whole point is we're not those ages to sit here and say that we know how that perspective is, because at those ages things change. Things are different. And I realized that it's difficult, man. It's difficult sitting here really going without people who are impactful in your life. And the main focal point of this video is change. The only thing constant in the universe is change. Who are you not to be changing along with it? Who are you not? These are questions that you got to ask yourself. And you got to find ways to grow, even through adversity. And that question just stuck with me. How did you overcome? The last part, how did you overcome? And I realized, dang, I'm still overcoming. I still haven't done the second thing it asked me before that, the action. What actions have you took? I haven't took the actions because I'm still stuck on what is. And that's hard for me. That's hard for me to sit here and not be able to move forward, because lately, y'all, I've been feeling stuck. I've been feeling like I don't know which way to go. You know, I'm at a point of separation within my relationship. Two different states. I'm not around my child. I'm not around, my future wife. Like I'm I'm and that's how I feel in my heart. That's I would hope the direction it goes. But in the meantime, I'm just here, and I'm trying to find ways to exist. And that's not something I wanted them to experience. And I realized that change, man, change, it happens. Whether you like it or not, it happens. And you could look at the glass half empty or half full. You could be with or without. I'd rather look at it half full. I'd rather say I'm with. I'd rather be solution based. Yeah, I miss my mom and dad all the time, And my sister will tell you like I'm not the one to cry, bro. Like that's not like I'll tear up, I'll get a few out, but I mean like a real cry, like just bawling. Like I haven't ever been able to do that. It's like my mind stops me or something. It's so, and I don't mean to even smile about it, but it's just like it's so mind blowing to me that I could have a moment where I'm about to finally be able to release this pain, this anguish, this resentment, this fear, this anger, whatever, and it's just like I stop myself. And in a way I imagine it like them, is this a form of self sabotage because I know it's going to be healing, but I'm preventing myself from letting go so things could change. If you're not changing, you're choosing. I miss my mom and dad every single day, every single day. And you try not to think about it, but it's like their energy is a part of you. They created you, like you are them. And I don't want nobody to feel bad for me either, because it's just like, but pray for me, you know, send your love my way if you can, but don't feel bad for me, because it's like they say, God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors, and I'm not going to question why I'm so strong. They said my dad was strong, my mom was strong, so I can't question why I have the strength to not to be able to handle certain situations differently, you know. Really watching my parents take their last breath. With my dad, we got the call for it. With my mom, we just sat. We actually watched it, me and my sister, and that was rough. You know, when I was younger, my mom's brother was on dialysis, and he actually bled out. And because it wasn't like a murder, the coroner or whoever, and so they said that they could. The police and said they said they couldn't send anybody to clean it. That the family would have to clean it or get someone to clean it. So me and my sister and my mom's twin sister, we all cleaned it. And that was another part of my life where change was happening. Where once we clean his blood up, this is like the last parts of him that we're going to see. This is the thing that was keeping him alive. This was the thing that was able to keep us laughing, to keep him sound and moving around. Like this was his fuel. And now it's everywhere. That was rough, you know? And I just want to share these stories. I want to share my life with people as much as I possibly can. And I hope and pray it helps somebody. And we're going to be growing together, because like I said, I'm in a space where I'm still growing myself, My current living situation is not the best one. Like I'm literally sleeping on my sister's couch, man, trying to refigure out life. Before this, I was just in a 2-bedroom loft with my family. Lost everything, and now I'm here trying to figure it out. Doing what I can to become the best version of me. Health wise, mentally, spiritually, especially within my health, because a healthy body is a healthy mind. And I've been unhealthy for a long time. Been working in the food world forever. So it's like you got to find a different, that was always my escape for stuff, food. Over consuming. And then I realized I want to live, because now I'm a parent. I want to live because now I'm going into my purpose. I want to live because now I see me. I see who I am. And I got to take care of that. I got to take care of this vessel that I was gifted. If you're going through things similar, if you have experienced it, my prayers go out to you. Love goes out to you. But we're all going to get through it. Got to. What other choice do we have? Go backwards? There's nothing there. There's nothing there but an empty space and our thoughts that are recreating the pain over and over again that it feels like it's still there. It doesn't, these moments don't exist no more. And it's like, it's so weird to even say that, you know, because it's like the experiences were real, but they have passed. My parents were real, but they have since passed. They don't exist in this plane no more. And they don't. Because I can't pick up the phone and just call them. I can only pray to them, you know, hope that they send me some type of sign or symbolism of anything to show that they're present. And I'm not going to sit here and hold you up for too much longer. But continue to love on yourself. Please. This is all our first time experiencing this life. Don't be too hard on yourself. You know? Don't be too hard on yourself. Get through it. Don't give up. Don't put yourself in a position to make anyone else's life collateral damage. Someone mentioned something not too long ago. They said the universe doesn't respond to morality, it responds to beliefs. And I feel like you have to be careful with information like that, because then you got people who say, okay, so I don't have to be a good person to receive what I want. I just got to believe I deserve it and do bad shit. But at the end, your heart is still weighed. Your soul is still weighed. Yes, you were straightforward. Yes, you did exactly what you wanted to do. We get it. We get it. But where you end up from there, it might not be the best situation. And whatever you believe in, it cannot be hell. You could you could just end up being, your next life end up being a flower that constantly gets cut over and over again. Right before it's about to grow and reach the sun, it's cut. And because flowers have a bunch of seeds, you done laid some seeds and now you're reproduced and you're doing it again and you're cut. And what if you're remembering that lifetime over and over again? Like every time I start to grow, I get cut down. Because that's what you decided to do in a lifetime, to cut things down before they could grow, just so you could receive. Love is a high frequency. Hate is too. But one is limited. One becomes disconnected from source, and that's why it builds so much. And we think, but it created its own source of hate. It's like, but no judgment. Where do you truly want to evolve and elevate? What plane, what phase in life do you want to exist on? Why are you coming in here with such limited belief? Because a lot of people, honestly, a lot of people who are disconnected from source due to their immoral decisions and them being desensitized, they wish they would have kept their connection. And they're angry because they know they can't reconnect. So they're convincing others to be the same way. Y'all gotta peep this shit. Y'all gotta see it. And if you don't want to see it, fine. It's okay. You'll learn at some point in your lifetimes. If that's what you're blessed with. If that's what you're given. Because what if this is really it? What if the decisions you make today will decide if you ever get to live and experience anything ever again, what are you going to do? How are you going to live? How do you want people? That was a question I was watching on a recent podcast, and a woman asked the podcast interviewer, "How do you want people to remember you?" And I know for myself, I don't want to be remembered. I want to be felt. When you speak my name, I want you to get a energy surge. Long as you're aligned with that frequency, though, just not for anybody. Long as you're aligned with that frequency and that mindset, that when you speak my name, you become more enthusiastic. You become more uplifted. That's what I want. I want people to be able to move in power when they speak my name. He did great things while he was here. And and it's making me realize, it's opening something within myself. Like, I want my energy from my name to be in such a high frequency that when spoken the correct way, when you're on the right frequency, it opens something within yourself to be able to access the same ports for you to do great things without the things around you becoming collateral damage, helping the things around you evolve and become better if it so choose those paths. Again, family, I love y'all. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Share your experiences in the comments. Let me know what you've been through. Let me know what you've experienced. And let's continue to grow together. Peace.